Every year, Korea hosts the Overseas Koreans Literary Awards, now in its 27th year. This award connects the voices of Koreans living around the world through literature, discovering outstanding works in 3 categories this year: poetry, short stories, and essays. This contest supports emerging overseas Korean writers and contributes greatly to the global reach of Korean language literature. Today, we meet poet Choi Jai-joon, a winner of this year's event in the poetry section. Welcome, Mr. Choi.
Welcome, Mr. Choi.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. So first and foremost, congratulations on winning the second prize of the section, the poetry section.
Right.
So share us your thoughts about this achievement.
Yeah, poetry has always been a way for me to connect to my heritage and my roots. So to have my work recognized with this award is greatly meaningful for me. And also it inspires me to grow, not only as a writer, but also as a person. So for that, I'm really grateful for, to the judges and all those people who read my poems with such care. And above all, I am really grateful to my families and friends and all my colleagues in Seattle. And they stayed with me through ups and downs of my life and my career. So I express my sincere thanks to them. And thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, congratulations once more. And Mr. Choi, your poem was one of some 1,500 entries I heard. So please introduce your award-winning poem to our viewers and also the message it conveys.
Correct. Yeah, the title of my poem in Korean is 몽돌 해변, and in English it is Pebble Beach. So this poem was inspired by a nursing home where my mother once stayed. And I used the poem, in this poem, the image of pebbles as a metaphor for life. If you look at the pebbles, and each and every one of them has distinct colors and shapes and textures and whatnot, just as each of us has a unique, the character, and shaped by joys and happiness and sadness through our daily life. So there is a relationship between the image of pebbles and humanity there. And I expand this single image of pebble into the entire Pebble Beach. So the beach becomes a place where time gently washes things, and also it's a place where every life can eventually find its place among others. And just as pebbles learn to coexist, in the environment, such as waves and constant frictions, and we human beings can also learn to, exercise compassion and also appreciate each other and embrace, people. So that's the message that I want to carry through the poem. And so the morale of the poem is the language of compassion and healing and acceptance.
It makes a lot of sense to me. In fact, it's quite a deep meaning that I've never thought before, and yet it's opened my mind, and it's very well spoken. Thank you very much, Mr. Choi, for that. But obviously, we want to hear a little bit about your poem, in the poem. So could you tell us some of your favorite, maybe 1 or 2 of your favorite lines in Korean, and then maybe translate it into English for us?
Right, thank you. So I have it here. I have 3 stanzas. It's catched from the middle section of my poem. I'll read in Korean first. 이곳엔 이름 대신 깎여나간 부위들이 누워있다. 단단했던 시절을 벗어놓고 빛깔 다른 피부를 서로 어루만진다. 마찰이 부드러운 몸짓이라는 걸 저마다의 언어로 밀려드는 물비늘에 어깨에 한 귀퉁이를 내어주며 배운다. 진단도 처방도 없는 곳, 해조류와 햇살이 번갈아 들러 찢긴 시간을 꿰매주고 간다. And I translate this into English version as follows. Here in the Pebble Beach, instead of names, there lie the worn down parts in peace, shedding the roughness of their past. They gently embrace one another, each with a smooth skin of its own. They learn that the friction can be a tender gesture by offering the edge of its shoulder to the shifting scale of the ocean that arrive in their own languages. This is a place with no diagnosis, no prescription, where seaweed and daylight take turns to visit, stitching together the torn fabric of time.
Wow, wonderful.
And I like to carry the message of healing and acceptance here.
I felt like I was already getting healed by listening to the poem, Mr. Choi, and it gives me a whole new vision of pebbles. When I look at pebbles now, I have a totally different emotions.
Yeah, it was beautifully said, Mr. Choi. And while writing this poem, you did talk about compassion, but was there a particular moment or sort of emotion that lingered with you the most while writing this?
As I said earlier, this poem was inspired by nursing home. So the image of nursing home is always present while I was writing. But particularly, when my mother was there and she was sitting by the window and overlooking outside the world, and her gaze was fixed far, far away. At that moment, I felt that, just the gentle and soft tidal wave was passing through her. And it was, sad moment for me, of course, because tidal wave washes her away from us. And yet, strangely, I also felt some relief because I knew that the same wave also take away her pains and aches and bitterness in her memory. So in this mixed emotion, I realized that even in some sad losses, there is also some healing happening at the same time. So I like to convey that the message is through this image.
And it also really shows us how nature is really linked to humans and human lives. And I guess your poem probably speaks a universal language, but yet we wonder, what aspects do you find overseas readers or specifically American readers relate to most or find maybe especially compelling?
Right. I have published some poems at the local Korean media in Seattle area. And over the years, I have noticed that readers, they are more attuned to the themes like migration and identity and belongingness and some conflict that they have through their own environment, through racial issues and so on and so forth. Those themes seem to be more creating some kind of spark that could be, sometimes intriguing yet inviting.
I see.
And is there anything especially challenging about writing poetry in Korean, particularly as an overseas Korean yourself?
Right. There are several challenges actually. Just as staying overseas itself is a challenge because we are living in a different culture. But I think one of the most this is challenging also is something that I really appreciate because the Korean language itself is really scientific and is context rich and multi-layered, and yet it is really context sensitive. So this sensitivity is really delicate, because even if you tweak or use a slightly different nuance or word, then that change can, alter the overall, poem in totally different direction. So this is really a challenge that we have to overcome, and we spend a lot of time to find a just right word that describes my mood. And that's one challenge. And also another challenge is that since we are living in English spoken community, and I have to try very hard to maintain my language skills. I have to be intentional so that my tool, so to speak, can be really sharp. So during my work, I sometimes utilize lunchtime, and in the evening, I try to read the Korean literatures as much as I can. Yeah.
And before we let you go, Mr. Choi, just briefly, are you currently working on a piece of work, a literary work, or what are your future plans?
Yes, I always working on several pieces, and this is the ongoing practice that we observe ourselves and listen to our inner self. So there's always new ideas and new cool things that we always seeking to find through all these practices. And so I get inspiration from a lot of different sources, including the broadcast like this, and through some social issues, as well as mundane things like casual conversation with child, and so on and so forth. So I try to jot them down as much as I can, and that can be a really start for my next piece, and so on and so forth. So I'm currently preparing my first collection for a publication, which consists of all the poems that I have written over the years. And that is a kind of snapshot of my struggle and survival, and also my passion about life. So I hope I can connect with your viewers in near time.
We hope so too.
Great.
Thank you very much, Mr. Choi, for sharing your story with us today. And it was very inspirational, probably also to many other writers overseas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Choi.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you, Walter. As always, we're going to see you back here tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.